this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Benyar BY5156, Homage to the AP Royal Oak. I'm going to say AP rather than the real name, because I'm sure I'll mispronounce it, which is why most people say AP anyway. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing my Neymar diver. I haven't given this watch much attention lately since I've had so many other watches to unbox and review. So I decided I better give it a wear. And Grogo is wearing my Casio calculator watch. Grogo asked me if the calculator watch violated the Butlerian Jihad. And I told Grogo that he has his franchises all mixed up again. But the whole Star Wars universe is one huge violation of the Butlerian Jihad, with all those thinking droids walking around. So the Bene Gesserit would just gum jabber the whole lot of them. Okay, I already showed an unboxing video, but I put it back in the box anyway, in case you missed it. Comes with your Benyar cleaning cloth, the instructions, warranty card. And this one comes with a magnet clasp also, but since this is a quartz watch, we don't really care. And here's the watch. I still think this looks really nice. This watch was only $25. You could buy 1,000 of these watches for the price of one real AP Royal Oak. So why review a watch that is only $25? Well, I think it's important to review a watch this cheap because you still want to ensure that you don't get a piece of junk. Because after all, money is money. And you can have the attitude, well, if it's only $25, then who cares if it's crap? Well, if that is your attitude, then just go ahead and buy the $9 George watch at Walmart with the fake subdials, the fake pushers, and the fake rotating bezel that doesn't rotate. The watch is 41.7 millimeters from flat end to flat end, but if you go from point to point, it's 43 millimeters. So you kind of need to measure it by the point to point because that's the greater distance. It's 51.6 millimeters lug to lug if these were actual lugs, but this is an integrated bracelet. And it's only 10.2 millimeters high, so it's a fairly thin watch, and it's 127 grams, so it wears really nice on the wrist. This integrated bracelet is 25.4 millimeters at the end and tapers down to 18 millimeters at the clasp. The real AP Royal Oak is an automatic, but this is a quartz watch, and that's fine in this case, because a watch this cheap, if it was an automatic, could never be 10 millimeters thick. It would have to be at least 13 or 14. And this watch wears so well because it's thin. The movement is a Miyota 2115, which is a pretty good movement for the price. I had this on my Addis Dye military watch, and it keeps really good time, and the second hand would hit all the marks. On this case though, the second hand is missing the marks by just a little bit. But I don't blame the movement. I think when they aligned the second hand, they just missed it by a little bit. I think if you took the second hand off and realigned it yourself, you could probably make it hit all the marks. But I'm not going to do that. I've still never removed and replaced a second hand before. One of these days I'll have to give that a shot, but I'm not ready yet. It has a press-on case back that shows the Benyar logo and says all stainless steel, and it has 30 meters of water resistance. 30 meters is fine. This is going to be a dress watch. You're not going to wear this in the pool. You're not going to wear this at the gym. You're not going to wear this fishing and camping. 30 meters is just fine. The face has these little square textures similar to a real AP Royal Oak. And looking in this camera here, it looks really light blue, but the face changes colors. It only looks this light in this light. I don't know if it's the LED lights in my office or what, but under normal lighting, it's a much darker blue. It changes colors. Has a really nice sunburst effect. Here, let me kill the lights and see if that shows you the face a little bit better. Okay, see how it has a much deeper blue now? The AliExpress website says that the crystal is Hardlex, but I'm going to go with the assumption that they're just using Hardlex as a generic term for hardened glass. It has a unsigned crown, and the crown is not a hexagon like the real royal oak. It's not a screw-in crown either, which is fine because it only has 30 meters of water resistance anyway. You would never want a screw-in crown unless it had at least 100. The case back says all stainless steel, and there's been a lot of talk about Benyars and whether or not they're really stainless steel at all, or chrome plated alloy. But in this case, I really believe it's stainless steel case, because look at this brushwork. Very coarse. I don't think you could put brush marks like this on plated alloy, but you never know. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. The bezel has the brush marks too, very coarse. If you look at a real AP Royal Oak, it has some pretty coarse brush mark too. Of course, a lot nicer than this. So I think the coarse brushwork is done intentionally. If you look at the bezel screws, I think they're real, because if you look at them, they all don't line up exactly. If this was something that was engraved into the case just for decoration purposes, they would be lined up perfectly. So I think they're actually screwed in. I didn't want to take a screwdriver though and unscrew them. If you look at the bracelet, you'll see that the metal of the bracelet does not match the metal of the case. And if you look right here, there's a few dings on this one link. And also, if you look closely at the links, you can see that they're folded. They're not solid links. I had to take 4 links out of this to fit this to my 7.5 inch wrist, so you could probably wear this just fine if you had an 8.5. And there's probably about 4 more you could take out, so you could wear this if you had a 6.5 inch wrist, although this might be a little big for a 6.5. The butterfly clasp has the Benyar logo, and the logo makes it so you have to close the clasp in one direction. Here's the watch on my 7.5 inch wrist. I think it fits me just fine. Once again, because of the thinness, even though it looks big, it wears very nice. I think you can pull this off no matter whatever size your wrist is. The loom is not that impressive at all. It's pretty lackluster, but I'll go ahead and show it to you anyway. Give it a charge here. As you can see, there's very little loom and it fades fairly quick. What do I like about this watch? Well, for one thing, the price. It was only $25. And I still think you're getting a substantial watch for $25. Are you getting a $25,000 Royal Oak? No, you're not. I like the face. Once again, it doesn't show very well in the LED lights of my office, but it has a very cool sunburst effect. And I like the little textured squares. And the watch just doesn't feel junky. It has a solid feel to it. Yeah, it has folded links on the bracelet, but I'm still convinced that the case itself is solid stainless steel. What are my gripes and groans? First of all, the loom just sucks. It's just enough to have loom. You'll never notice it unless you zap it with a UV flashlight. The bracelet doesn't match the case, but it's not that unnoticeable. Just a little gripe and groan. And the coarse brushwork is cool, but you can see it's kind of sloppy. But once again, this is a $25 watch. I still think you're getting a pretty good watch for $25. Overall, I still recommend this watch. You can spend a little bit more and get an automatic, but unless you spend enough to get one with a Solita or a PT5000, it's going to be a lot thicker and wear a lot thicker on your wrist. So if you want the Royal Oak look without the Royal Oak price, I would say give this watch a go. Thank you for watching my video, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with either an unboxing or another review. Thanks. Bye.